you saw this woman, this white woman and white man get throttled in Cincinnati. It was during the Jazz Festival. I would never go to a jazz festival, even if it wasn't just packed with black people. I wouldn't go because, well, you probably know I hate jazz. Self-serving, self-indulgent drivel. You can't tap your foot to it. You can't sing to it. You can't do anything. You just sit there and watch 4 or so musicians playing what sounds like different songs and just indulging themselves in their own, musicianship. Bling, bling, ding, bling, ding, bling, bling, bling. Go f*** off with that nonsense. It's terrible. It's terrible. And they had this festival, and people, people want to go. Black people want to go. A lot of jazz people are black. And then whitey goes because they're stupid. They think they're having a good night out. And they get their ass handed to them because they dare be white and be out amongst black people. So you saw the clips. The guy got sucker punched and thrown to the ground and kicked and beaten. And then the woman, she dared maybe turn around and look at somebody, and she got cold cocked and hit the ground, the back of her head. And they've shown some insane pictures of this woman's injuries. She looks like she was in the ring with Ronda Rousey for the entire length of the fight, with her arms tied behind her back. That's what she looked like. And they arrested 4 people now, but earlier they had arrested 2 people, a guy and a woman, both black. And the guy has been in trouble before, and they gave him a $4,000 bail, which means he was out by paying $400, 10% in cash. That's how some bail systems work. So for all the people, the Cincinnati police chief, who's a woman, another one of these DEI bullshit, she's racist against white people. And her talking, the media talking, and saying, well, we'll find who did this. And believe me, they will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We take this very seriously. And then they let him out on $400 bail. That's taking it seriously? What fucking bullshit. No one's taking this seriously. No one ever takes this shit seriously. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining. And again, I hate even fucking bringing it up, but you reverse the races and it's a goddamn riot. And the people would be in jail without bail. You are not allowed, or $2 million bail, and charged with a hate crime. And there'd be rioting and protests and demands for justice and all the nonsense you see when the rare occasion happens that it is a black victim, or the more common thing, it's a complete hoax and bullshit, because this just doesn't happen the other way around. You never see a gang of white people stomping on a black person. So Mama, the mama of the guy thug that got out on $400 bail, Mama's always got to come up and give her 2 fucking cents about things like this when they happen. So she gets in front of the media or what have you, and she got to tell you what a good boy Ma Chow is. He a good boy. Now, as you listen to this, I believe he's in high school. He might be in high school because she says he's an honors student. Yeah. As he's raping a woman, he's honor. That's the only honor this guy knows. So here's Mama talking about her baby boy.
More to the story. Here's what Montiana's Merriweather's mother had to say outside of court.
These Russians was walking down the street, and on the video, he said, "You want to mess with these Russians?" And he smacked the first guy, but it wasn't like they thugs. My child is in school. He had 5 kids. He's on the B honor roll in school. And he's not the thug that they put out in there to be.
Now, if you remember, Chief Terry Fiji, more to the story.
So they saw the white people walking by, and they said, look at these Russians. You want to, get these Russians. And then he smacked one of them in the face. This is what they do. I've been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and I've seen white people walking down the street, and out of nowhere, they will get slugged by a group of blacks, and the blacks will laugh and point and do their fucking jig laugh. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. So she admits that they said, let's fuck with these Russians, and they smack them. And then it turns into what it turned into. They put the guy on the ground. They stomped him, kicked him, and then hit this woman so fucking hard and started kicking her, and she's laying on the ground, smacked the back of her head. She's bruised from fucking head to, what they showed, which was, she just pulled down her medical thing or whatever, and she was a mess. She was a fucking mess. And $400 bail, and Mama says he's a good boy. He's on the B honor roll. What is that, black? What is the B honor roll? And he's got 5 kids. He's on the honor roll, so that's high school, right? There's no honor roll in like college. They call it something else. I don't think he's in college. And he's 5 kids, and he's a good boy. Lady, your son's a piece of shit, fucking thug. And yeah, that word too. Yeah. He earned it. He earned the privilege of white people calling him the N word, as they call it. But, the mamas are always lying sacks of shit for the kids. Always. You'll see these traffic stops that I love watching. Some black woman, even black guys, they'll get pulled over and they get on the phone with their mama. Let me call my mama. And the cop's like, get out of the vehicle. I'm calling my mama. And then they call and the mama shows up and she's another piece of shit that's got to be arrested. Why are you doing that? Why? You doing too much. I love that one. That one, I always forget to mention it with I Can't Breathe and Don't Touch Me and I Ain't Under Arrest. What I Do, all that stuff is you doing too much. You doing too much. No, I think they're doing just enough. If anything, they're not doing enough because I don't see him beating your fucking head in with a billy club, if I may use the old school vernacular. You doing too much. Don't touch me. All right, I'm handcuffed. You ain't got to touch me. Yeah, they do. They still have to grab your arm and hold you in place because you dumb apes will throw yourself right on the pavement face first and say you were fucking tripped. Oh, God. But the mama gets there and she starts, why? All this for a blinker? It's never about the blinker. We do have fatigue. We do have fatigue. Black fatigue. Oh, yeah. Here's the attorney. This is William McNeil. You might not know the name, but this is the young African-American gentleman that was in his car. A cop pulled up. He was performing a traffic stop. The guy, William McNeil, he opens the door. Now, cops don't like this. This is, it could be they're opening the door to get a better angle to shoot the cop when they walk up to the door. This isn't unprecedented. This has happened many times. And police officers are very leery when it comes to somebody just opening the door to their vehicle during a traffic stop. So don't do it. This kid, guy, whatever, he insists his window didn't work. His window doesn't work. Well, stay in the car and yell through the window that my window doesn't work. I'll roll down the passenger side and we can talk and exchange things that way. There, again, plenty of ways to diffuse this, de-escalate it, and keep it civil. Now, if the cop gets a little edgy that you flung the door open, yeah, he has a right to be a little angry, but he didn't walk up and start beating him. He told him to get back in his vehicle. This guy didn't comply with anything. When he finally did get back in his vehicle, there was no way to communicate with him. He didn't roll any windows down. He wanted to know why he was being pulled over. The officer said you weren't wearing your seatbelt and you don't have your headlights on in inclement weather. Now, I don't know the rules. I don't know the laws. I know that during rain, you have to have your headlights on. And I don't know if the rule is inclement weather. I think if it's been raining, if it's cloudy like that and wet and there's the potential of rain coming again, maybe you have to turn your lights on. Maybe it's a state thing. I don't know. But throw that out. Just say he didn't have a seatbelt on. There you go. And a cop, if he wants to pull you over, he'll pull you over. It'll happen. Great way for them to check if you're a problem. So, they're saying there was no reason for him to be pulled over. That's a lie. And then that the cops broke the window and dragged him out of his vehicle and beat him. No. He wasn't complying. They broke the window after asking him 25 times to step out of the vehicle, which he refused. It is a lawful order. Pennsylvania versus Mims from 1977. 1977. This is a Supreme Court decision that if an officer during a traffic stop asks you or any passenger in your vehicle to step out of the vehicle, you must step out of the vehicle or face arrest. That's the law. So when you see him sitting there yelling, you don't have to, I know my rights. I don't have to get out of this vehicle. Why? You ain't got a warrant. Like, they pull this shit out that makes no sense. They don't know the laws, and it ends up escalating because they're stupid. They don't know the laws, and they're not complying to legal instructions. So after 25 times, they did do what they said they were going to do. They broke the window, and they wanted to see this guy's hands. And he goes, here. And they puts him back down. And a big, brawny cop punches him in the face. It's an attention getter. He didn't punch him and keep punching him. He didn't punch him and break anything. It was an attention getter. Hey, over here, get out of the car. I'm all for that. I'm all for use of physical force, regulated. You got to have a governor on that thing. You can't just start pummeling the guy. But an attention getter like that, yeah, now get out. And they put him on the ground, they cuffed him, and that was that. Well. Regardless of what cops deal with on a daily basis when dealing with black people, especially young black men, and the threat they pose to the police officers, it's all we see on body cam footage. It's very rare body cam footage catches a cop doing something so egregious to somebody that's pulled over, especially people of color. They give them more latitude than anybody. 25 times they asked this fucker to get out of the car. So now, of course, where they want justice, they got Ben Crump. They got their own personal lawyer, and they are going to want a big fucking payday. The ghetto lotto is in full effect here. So here's this guy's attorney, and he's equating his client to none other than Rosa Parks. Yeah, sing a spiritual and watch this.
You know, at the beginning of this case, when we were retained by William, you know, we asked the question, why didn't you get out of the vehicle? Well, first of all, being stopped and being told that you've been pulled over because you didn't have headlights on in the daytime and being told it's raining when a drop is not falling from the sky to give you suspicions at the beginning. To see an officer put his hands on his weapon when you know you didn't violate a traffic violation, give you hesitation. But to be held at gunpoint,
again, could you pause? Yeah, the cop put his hand on his gun. The guy was getting out of his vehicle. Why should the cop give a young black man the benefit of the doubt when his life depends on it? His very life depends on that. Yeah, pull your gun out. Tell him to get back in his vehicle. And when he's trying to get him out of the vehicle and you don't want to get out and doesn't have his hands visible, yeah, pull your gun out. There are plenty of instances where a young black man pulls a gun and starts shooting at the cops. This isn't something that's even rare. There's a lot of instances of this happening. The cop wants to go home to his fucking family and not end up in the fucking morgue because some thug shot him and the cop was giving him the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, you want cops to stop pulling guns on black young men? How about black young men behave on traffic stops? How about black young men aren't the number one group of people, number one demographic that are shooting at police officers during traffic stops? How about that? Maybe? Continue.
For a civil infraction.
Continue.
That's an infraction where you just only pay a fine. $15 at most to be held at gunpoint. You know, Mr. McNeil William represents our heroes of the civil rights movement. As being talked about Rosa Parks. See, in 1955, she refused to give her seat up and it started a movement. Amen. And in 2025, you see William McNeil, college student, mentor, doing everything right. Everything he was taught to do by his mother, still subjected to police brutality, misconduct, a sheriff who willing to expand a narrative that absolutely is a divorce from reality.
Pause again. They did everything his mama said. He did everything his mama said. Yeah, mama wasn't conducting the traffic stop. He did not listen to the cops. Rosa Parks, he's a civil rights leader now, this fucking thug asshole, fucking obnoxious dickbag. He is now a civil rights icon like Rosa Parks. No, not really. You know what he is? Another black thug disobeying the laws that we all obey. We understand that if we're doing something in our vehicle and we get pulled over, that we, again, have a certain responsibility in that situation. We have to supply certain documentation to prove that we are legally driving this vehicle, that the vehicle is legally owned, that the vehicle is insured. And we don't want to create an environment that seems threatening or dangerous to anyone involved in the traffic stop. That's what we do. So when I see people like this jerk off not adhering to a system we all agreed to. We agreed to this. You got your license, you bought your car, you registered it and insured it. And now you're driving around adhering to the rules of the road. And when you don't, and you get called on it, well, that's on you. Now you have to deal with that issue from the traffic stop all the way up to disposing of that violation, whether going to court or paying it, whatever it is. Go through all these things. These are all the rules that we as a society have agreed to. So when someone like this fuck doesn't, I have no sympathy. I'm doing it the right way. Most of the people I know are doing it the right way. But there's this demographic that refuse to fucking do it the right way and create a problem. And when they pay the consequence to creating that problem, droves of them come out and say that the system we've all agreed to put in place is fucked up and racist and wrong and needs to be changed. I agree with it. I've been the victim of traffic stops. But let me tell you something. I've never been the victim. I was speeding. I did go through the light when it was red and I made the right turn. I did violate the parking regulations, like all that stuff. And you know what you do? You stand up and face it and remedy it so that your privilege, not right, your privilege to drive isn't taken away from you. We've agreed to this. And some people don't want to play by the rules. And we're supposed to look and go, oh, yeah, poor guy. Yeah, fuck 12. Fuck the police. We want justice. I want justice. I pull over. I'm nice. I give my fucking documents. I pay the fines. I want justice. But this fuck, nah. Let's hear more of this nonsense.
Divorce from reality. Because the fact remains that if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1 million. Yeah. The next day, William was arrested, taken to jail, taken to the hospital. At the hospital, he was diagnosed with a brain injury.
That happened at birth. Could you pause that? A brain injury? I can't disagree. I've heard these motherfuckers speak. Diagnosed with a brain injury. You know, by who? Let's see that report. Let's see that bunch of bullshit. They took him down to the ground. The guy gave him a little love tap on the side of his face, didn't knock him out, didn't even seem to faze him. And then they pulled him out, put him on the ground and cuffed him because he was resisting arrest. And now he's got a traumatic brain injury. They hit him on the head. His IQ went up 5 fucking points. That's the injury. He's now too smart to talk to his family. Oh, Christ, enough. All right, more.
Injury. The next day, he was sent before a judge, not knowing anything about the law. He pled, and Attorney Robson come up talking more about that, to suspended license and resistance without violence. You know, when I was a criminal defense lawyer, I have Braylon Ward up there, great criminal defense lawyer. You got to enter into a plea knowingly, voluntary, and intelligent. Yeah. How could he enter into a plea when he has a closed head injury, suffer from concussion, and can't even remember his name? And he's in jail.
Pause. Stop. Just fucking stop. His name's William. How do you not remember that? If it was like, you know, Conshawnish, maybe. But he didn't remember his name. He's just standing in court with a head injury, not remembering, is it with amnesia? Amnesia, that's his name. What's your name? Amnesia. I don't remember my name. I'm amnesia. You fucking, give me a break with this. Give me a break. This fucking guy, first of all, how about You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to you at the cost of the court. They're told their rights when they get arrested. And you have a right to a public defender. And that's the person that is supposed to tell you your options. Do you plead guilty? Do you not? Did this guy not have a public defender? Or did he just say, fuck that? Fuck that. I don't need no. And then he pled guilty. Yeah, sorry. Them's the rules. Now they're trying to say he's this great guy, the cops' brutality, and then the entire judicial system. They got him up there, a blithering idiot. He doesn't remember his own name, pleading guilty to these ridiculous lying charges. Oh my God, how does this country function? How does it function with such a horribly racist system? How about this? You would have shut your door. You would have given your documents to the police officer through the passenger window if indeed your driver's window did not work. Or the officer might have said, okay, open the door, but keep your hands where I can see them. Whatever would have transpired if he didn't just shut himself in his car and refuse to come out. He would have had a ticket, perhaps for no headlights, perhaps for no seatbelt. Maybe he would have gotten a warning and let go. His own actions are the only fuck reason he's there right now. He could have been like any other person that actually agreed to and abides by the rules and would have gone home within minutes of that traffic stop. But no. And again, I see it over and over and over again with these videos. They just do not want to comply with lawful orders. They do not want to have the proper documentation. You got ID on you? No. Whose car is this? I don't know. In my cousin's. You got insurance? It's on my phone. Could I see it? My phone dead. You got a charger? No. What? Who does this? That's who. That's who. Is there more? Let's see.
Not having a headlight. Headlight. Spent 2 days in jail. So Attorney Robinson and myself, we're going to petition the courts not only to pursue justice on a civil grounds, not just pursuing justice on a criminal grounds and try to get the officer arrested, but pursuing justice to secure his freedom. Yeah. Because no way he should have been charged with a crime. Because let me be very clear. The stop was unconstitutional from the beginning. It wasn't just pretextual. It was racial profiling and unlawful. And he suffered a beating that nobody should suffer.
Oh, a beating no one should suffer. You know who suffered that? The white woman from Cincinnati that was pummeled till she was unrecognizable. Her face is unrecognizable. Pop that picture up, Sean. There she is. Of a beating that no one deserved. How about this? How about that's a beating no one deserves, you lump of shit? Unfucking believable. The kid looks fine. He was not beaten. He put himself in that situation. He was arrested because of his own fucking actions. And he wants civil justice, which means ghetto lotto. He wants the cop arrested, another George Floyd fucking travesty of justice. And he wants, his freedom because he didn't do nothing. And he didn't deserve the beating that no one deserves. There's a beating no one deserved, perpetrated by black people against a white woman. These motherfuckers are infuriating. In-fucking-furiating. Holy crap. And they wonder why we throw words around and treat them in certain ways different from other demographics. Why the cop pulls his gun out when a young black man flings the door open during a traffic stop. Why is that, officer? Well, There's plenty of videos of officers being shot by these motherfuckers doing that. I don't want to, end up with my wife having to identify me at the morgue. Act better. Be better. Be better people and enjoy the gifts of our society. That's the only way it can work, if you're even capable of that. Be better. Because if you're not, we're as good as it's going to get. My God, if we looked the other way, we've self-flagellated because we're awful, awful white people. We've turned the other cheek. We've given extra fucking rights and extra good treatment because we feel so bad for the victimization of the black people. We've done all that. We can't do anymore. And the behavior gets worse and worse because of it. Now it's got to be your turn. It's got to be your turn. Be better. Be better people. And you won't get followed around in stores. If you're not the number one demographic for shoplifting and stealing and strong armed robbery in stores these days, if it wasn't your demographic, then you wouldn't get followed. Simple as that. But you're getting followed because you have to be better. I'm talking out my ass. I'm just chatting out my asshole right now because it doesn't do any good. I mean, it never will. First of all, no one, aside from me and a few other people, will actually honestly speak to these motherfuckers. Stand up and go, are you crazy? Like that was a press conference? The media someone should have just stood up and go, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Lawyer for the thug. Did you just say he got a beating no one deserves? Have you seen the woman in Cincinnati that was thrown a beating that you can only assume was based on her race? Have you seen that one? Would you consider this, of the picture, a beating that no one deserves? We here to talk about William. No one wants to bring it up. Excuse me, sir, wasn't he told 25 times to get out of the vehicle? And when he was told he was under arrest, he was told he was under arrest for obstructing the traffic stop and the subsequent investigation during the traffic stop, and that the arrest had nothing to do with having no headlights on or his seatbelt not being on at that point. Like you don't even have to mention it because the arrest was obstruction. He was not giving his identification. He was not stepping out of the vehicle as per Pennsylvania versus Mims when he fucking refused a lawful order. Who are you talking to? You doing too much. Yeah. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's astounding. Fucking astounding. So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.